Standing tall through the test. 我的精神也很顽强，地球活不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你的胜利也不受崇拜。我的精神也很顽强，地球活不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，境况让人前世，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈，你的胜利也不受。Standing tall through the test. I'm a true to respect. No, standing tall through the test. I'm a true to respect. No, 精神也顽强，你掌握不了，我是宣扬天空变化莫测，境况让人现实，可是败了你也都没办法，你的安排像灾祸，在我看来你帮着无奈。Now we still go ape, hey. Standing tall to the test. Standing tall to the test. Cause I'm a true to respect. Standing tall to the test.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Arenas 2024 season from the Shadows. We have some great games for you. And who is we, you might ask? Well, of course, that is me, Echo, joined by the fantastic Ari. Ari, how are you doing this fine day over here in the US?
Well, I'm awake. That's step one, staying awake, and then ready for Valorant. I mean, if you're awake, you're ready for Valorant. I feel like that's what we're ready to kind of come in, jump into today. And certainly this best of 3 is something that all of these players across the world want to see, as some money's on the line here.
Yeah, we have a prize pool of $350 split between first, second, and third place. And to try and contest this prize pool to start off today, our match is going to be INF Esports Next Gen versus SFAM. So two very good and skilled teams. They have pretty decent following on socials like Twitter and stuff. But as for the Reynas and the relationship to them, this is their first time entering this tournament. This is the debut for both of these teams. So there's a lot on the line here, a lot for them, not only when it comes to money, but for the reputation as well. They have a lot to prove, and they want to prove, hey, we belong in this tournament.
And unfortunately for one of those teams, it's only going to be one of them that moves on into the next round. The other will be going home. But, hey, there's always next time. There's multiple tournaments in the future, and I can't wait to see what they put in store for us today. Of course, they're going to do their best and try and make it on so we can see them once again. But looks like we're going to get these map bans coming in shortly, and let's see what we've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting stuff here. I'm hoping kind of to maybe see. Oh, there you go. Already, we're gonna have our first ban there. We're gonna see Bind out of the map pool. Let's see what SFAM goes ahead and bans here. Looks like we're gonna get rid of Split as well. So maybe an Ascent pick. And Ascent would be a fun map to see, because you do have that standard mirror comp. Now this is in EU. They might try something a little bit different than what we're used to over here in NA. But if we do see that come out, that mirror comp, that leaves a lot to be desired. That leaves individual play, team play. But it's gonna be interesting if they go ahead and do choose that. Out of these maps, what are you hoping to see, Ari?
I mean, I love a good Lotus. It's just a fun map for me to see, and who knows? I mean, new changes. It's just that traditional Ascent, like you said, is the one that will be picked first. So we will get to see that standardized game, if you will. But then you've got Sunset, and then let me guess, it's gonna be Icebox for the decider. How much you want to bet?
I will actually bet with you there. That seems like a pretty accurate guess. I mean, if we did see Breeze, we do have map changes there, but I guess we're not going to see that. Don't really want to mess with trying to do that. But between Icebox and Lotus, we're stuck between either having a pretty offensive map or an extremely defensive. There you go. We're going to go ahead and go with that defensive sidedness. Go ahead and lock in with Icebox, which also has had its fair share of map changes, which has led to this kind of weird stage we're in, where teams are trying to figure out a new meta. You could go ahead and go with the classic Sage Lock, but also what's been kind of sneaking into the meta here is Deadlock, which can really, really lock down those sites. And seeing Deadlock enter the meta for kind of the first time has been really interesting to see coming into this new pro play.
I personally have tested out Deadlock on this map, and we got absolutely stomped. So maybe I'm just doing something wrong. But hopefully these teams, if they do pick that Deadlock, will have a better luck than I did, at least in my games. But something else that we do see is the Killjoy a lot often, and that's kind of been meta for a little bit of a while now. And honestly, I don't think there's anybody that's really mad with that. I think Killjoy and Cypher, they have their maps. It's fun to play around, and I feel like they're in a pretty decently balanced spot where you can pick KO and you can play that to kind of counteract them.
Yeah, and also speaking of maps that kind of have those specific agents, we're gonna look at Sunset here. Sunset is absolutely loved with that Cypher, has a lot of map-wide presence, a lot of map control, especially on B site. Great stuff there, and of course, Ascent. We have that meta comp. Killjoy has been a staple of that map basically since she has come out. Even with the recent nerfs, with her turret being having less vision and stuff like that. Even then, she's still a really powerful character with a lot of, again, map-wide presence. And of course, we can't forget that ult. That lockdown can completely change the way the game flows, and it is an incredible piece of utility to have. So you love to see that on a map like Ascent as well.
Yeah, and speaking of Ascent, I believe we're going to get into this agent select shortly, and I certainly would not be surprised if we see that Killjoy like we talked about. But I mean, the potential for someone to just throw that wild card out there, whether it's Arena or something fun like that. I mean, I just can't wait, and I bet you these teams can't wait as well, as that is going to be a beautiful map to start off on. Ascent. Very, very traditional. So you've got pretty much no surprises in terms of the strat book. However, these agents could be something where this game completely changes.
Yeah, I mean, in Americas yesterday, I believe it was Loud against Leviathan. They actually pulled out a Phoenix, which it looks like right here, INF is hovering over, thinking about maybe we should go ahead and go with that Phoenix pick, because it was kind of an alternative to KO, which while KO is very versatile, if you want aggression, you have an aggressive team, going ahead and locking that Phoenix offers a lot of new opportunities and can offer maybe a counter to that standard comp we see a lot. And it actually worked. Loud went ahead and won that series 2-1. So if we're going to see new comps like this come out, it's definitely possible. And the question is, can SFAM adapt to try out for that Phoenix? But in the end, they are going to go with their standard comp there. INF decided, hey, although we're thinking about the Phoenix, maybe we should wait till later in the tournament. Maybe we don't want to try it out quite yet. But it is something to keep in mind that, hey, maybe in the future we will see more switched up comps on this map.
Yeah, and you can see that Cypher coming out by SFAM, so not everything completely mirrored, but something that I would have been a little bit worried is if you have that Phoenix out, that kind of takes away your KO. That takes away that suppression ability on for that Cypher, which can be very, very big. I think KO is a little bit stronger against Cypher than Killjoy, because as soon as that setup pops right back up, everything activates and you are getting in that microwave. But for Cypher, you just kind of got a little tripwire that pops up and you're like, oh, that's a little nice little laser wire. But for these teams, they're going to be getting underway, and it looks like we're going to have this Cypher setting up over towards this A site, which is something that we do commonly see. But the question is, where's the hit going to be in response to said Cypher util?
It looks like they're actually going for a little bit of this pistol round split, heading towards mid. That knife did get two enemies right there, so that might force a bit of a rotate as Ginkgo is kind of heading towards mid. Gonna go for this A hit instead, and it looks like this split, while trying to find at least a pick from this lurk here, it is looking like this hit is gonna go towards mid to A.
Yeah, and mid to A, it is kind of dangerous on this pistol as you have these dangerous crossfires that can be set up by this defense. And as fam looking for it, but it's INF that's gonna strike first.
Nice.
Wow, what a beautiful shot there out, and it's just kind of domination, at least in terms of the first bloods, as there's only been one.
Yeah, here we go. TGJ, though, trying to get that second blood with the Yuto coming out, backed up by their KO. They're going to push into the smoke. They do know that there's someone there. Will they get it? They do. They take down an enemy right there. Spike is going to go down as well with 40 seconds on the clock. Kabita Mate tries to swing out, but gets taken down by Jinko. And now it's Riznik in a 2 versus 5 to try and retake this site. The attacking side has a huge advantage here. However, Riznik gets rid of some of that advantage by taking down one. But they are going to go ahead and get traded out.
Yeah, and then you can see these players flooding up towards heaven, but it's just not enough. INF will secure this round and provide themselves that early lead as they do so desire. And that's something that we kind of see a little bit on Ascent. It's just some strong attack plans off the start. I just feel like something in my brain's like, hey, pistol rounds usually go the way of the attacker. I don't know what it is, but it just seems to work out. I need the stats on that to be completely insured on that. But, you know, they take the first round. They have this gun advantage going into this next round. And you have to admit they're feeling pretty confident as they just start off this map with this lead.
I will say, however, as teams begin to learn more about how to play their pistol rounds, the advantage that you have with your bonus has started to become less and less here. So it'll be interesting to see as they go for this, as SFAM goes for this 5-person push down A. Will it work? Will they be able to get the trade on Devin? Oh, that's 22 HP. Potential Vandal could be lost if this push keeps on going out. But all that info just now allows INF to say, hey, B site should be completely free. We saw 4. The max there's going to be is 1 person, and that 1 person is nowhere to be seen. Now they're coming, hey, we have sight. We're going to go ahead and get this plant down. And now it's just SFAM who has to try and retake with only pistols.
Yeah, this is not going to be very, very fun for them. They're just going to be this death ball coming out of market. And that death ball, it may be, somewhat useful if they had something like Spectres, but with Classics, they are going to get mowed down. And here comes the Star looking for those tags. There's a spray in response, and there is 1, 2, buckle my shoe. TGJ gets 3, gets 4, looking for the ace. No, it gets yoinked out of his hands.
Incredible stuff there from INF. I thought at first, hey, buying up a Vandal might be a little bit risky, but it gave them a huge advantage there. And with DGJ's great individual play with that Vandal of 4K wrapped up by Talhar there, really great stuff. And they're buying up a little bit again here on what should be their bonus from the guns they bought last time. So now it's going to be a pretty pivotal round. Both these teams have their rifles. Whoever takes this round could determine a 2-2 or a 4-0. Zaps takes down Jaco, but it's traded out by Devin. And now they're going to back up. They have that trade. They don't have to try and force up for a push or anything. They're thinking about going for this rotate.
And smart play there to try and kind of retrieve that gun is there is a little bit of a disadvantage for those attackers. They are on that bonus, so making sure they can't get access to that rifle is very nice. But hey, they still got things like Guardians and Spectres, which are very deadly. Still 1-tap capability on that Guardian, so you can see this trip here is holding out this pressure for now. The question is, what do these teams want to do to try and address that trip? And here's some knife to kind of gather out some info that maybe they don't have right now. And the players are kind of struggling to figure out where this hit is going to come from.
Yeah, it's really slow right now for INF. I think they managed to get past that wire now, but they're still a little bit like, hey, where do we want to hit? It looks like they're going to lean towards this B hit here, but we do have a Cypher set up, and there's still 2 players there.
Left.
They haven't rotated to A, so this could be a rough push, and it's going to come out. INF goes in with the Paranoia and the knife to try and get some info, but a great recon dart allows Mitora there, or Milford, sorry, to get the spray, the wall bang, the headshot. TGJ's trying to push up, trying to recover anything. Tobita Mate gets 1, but the 2 shots right there makes the 1 versus 2 possible. Just manages to get the spike. They have time to plant, but Oh, it's gonna be down to the
Doesn't have
second. Yeah, they don't. Just barely misses the plant. They're able to take down another with them, but that's a major loss there for INF and a great way to start getting some rounds for SFAM.
Hey, remember, that's a bonus round, by the way. They didn't
That's
spend
true.
anything extra, and you're telling me they come away with 4 picks and the plant money? Yeah, they're in a little bit of an economic advantage, is what we like to call that one. And TGJ, you know, has this Sova ultimate, which you would expect to come out either for a retake on A, maybe a little bit of some stall or a free pick, or at least, you know, something fun for that, maybe a post plant. But in time, will we figure that out as this pressure just comes out once again towards mid? And I think there's a little bit of this net strat coming out by SFAM. They're kind of letting them screw around in mid, have that space, and they're going to try and punish them based off of their next move after that.
Great drone from Milford allows them to get rid of that turret and kind of push back a bit Sin here, but Sin is trying to get a little bit aggressive. Again, spotted out by that Cypher spy cam. Sin is sprayed down through the wall by the Odin by Milford once again. And now this leaves INF again at this one-person disadvantage, which isn't the best to have on such a defender-sided map like this. However, again, Tahar is going to go ahead and trade it out, get Bisty down, also going to push up, fakes the plant, gets the headshot, and there you go. That's a free site for the taking.
Spike planted.
And I love what just happened there. It's just beautiful. The site take, they realize they get that early pick, no smoke, so they decide to kind of flush onto site, and they get a pick for their troubles. But now you have this 3v4 retaking all of the stalls here. You have a Sova ult, and this is just almost no way where you can see Inf losing this one, but there's a flash to get that first pick, so maybe there's some hope.
Yeah, great headshot right there, trying to get the retake. A fake dash. Look at this crossfire. It's undefeatable. Ginkgo, 1, 2, 3.
like
Absolutely demolishing the competition. Great triple headshot. And now that allows INF to maintain this lead. Shut down the equalization. And look at this. Their econ is in great shape. They also have 2 ultimates and are only 1 point away from the Bladestorm for Ginkgo.
Yeah, that's all. That's a lot of ultimates that they got coming up here, and something that I do want to see them do though is hold on to these ultimates a little bit. Yes, you should be able to win this round out pretty smoothly. Of course, you're welcome to use them if it goes to that thrifty-ish point, but you know, you want to try and clean this one up pretty fast, and it looks like this KO ult's going to be the only thing invested to try and just bum rush over onto this Cypher site, but he's not quite there, and there's some picks out by Steven. So he's going to get that first pick, and you've got Ginkgo now trying to push up here in a spawn, but opts to just play back and play with the team.
Spike
Plant
planted.
comes down as Riznik sees the shadow step to the stairs, calms it out. Great paranoia comes in, really blinding and slowing down any sort of push they have. INF has great utility usage to try and slow this down. Sin is now into this 1 versus 3. Ooh, not shot at yet. Alarmbot's trigger, gives some info, expects one to be there, but Devin takes him down. Bisty, though, manages to trade it out. Ginkgo and Devin, though, slaughter them. Devin coming out with a 4K there, and an expected round win goes ahead, comes to fruition there from INF.
Yeah, INF, they said, hey, we've got this KO ult, let's use it, let's clean this one up fast. That's the safest way to do it. And KO ult, it's one of those weird ultimates where you don't technically get that free value like a Showstopper or that Hunter's Fury. You know, it seems like just a free pick if you don't miss. For the KO ultimate, there's still very much some bullets that could find your face. So that one, kind of the safest ultimate to use there in that scenario, because the bullets don't really hurt when they have pistols. And now you're going to see this Hunter's Fury kind of put out here, but doesn't look like anything's found. And that's going to be another entry onto this B site.
Yeah, great stuff indeed. A great start to a push here. I love that. I love Devin's aggression there. Really solidifying any sort of site control. And again, shutting down this retake attempt. However, this time, and INF does have, or sorry, SFAM does have 5 players for this retake. So it's looking already much more winnable. Going in with the Hunter's Fury. It's not finding anything yet. Talhar takes down Zaps. Riznik goes ahead and trades it out. And we're at this 4 versus 3 retake. SFAM Bisty manages to make it even. 3 versus 3. TGJ through the smoke. Headshot right there. Bisty tries to push up but gets shot from behind. And now it's a 1 versus 3. Can the Odin do anything? Unfortunately, it's a no as INF makes it 5-1.
INF, they seem really, really in control of the pacing of this game. They're bringing this one. The first few rounds, they played a little bit slower. Now they're realizing, hey, there's just a Cypher. And as long as we don't hit their site, we have it relatively free. And SFAM, they're playing this sort of retake game, and they're just not winning those retakes. So something that maybe needs to be adjusted by them is playing a little bit more on site, like an anchor. And, you know, maybe you just want the Cypher to be the weaker site. Try and play off of these trips and maybe get something done, but maybe INF has noticed something, and that's that B site is a little bit weaker for whatever reason, but Zaps is going to get dangerous here with the Blade Storm.
Backs up a little bit after a little bit of aggression to really shut down any sort of push towards B. This is forcing this rotate here from INF to try and explore their other options. However, at the same time, SFAM's kind of moving in a way that they are directly mimicking how INF is playing. I'm really liking the way they're doing this, and they're still extremely slowing down any sort of push from INF. They're wasting their time and not giving any sort of picks from it. And INF's on the back foot. They say, hey, we can't go B, we can't go mid, let's try for this A hit. But that is exactly what SFAM wants.
Yeah, look at how many players are here, and hopefully they realize how much resistance is here. As well as this KJ coming over and saying, hey, rotate, 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 there's no one here. But of course, they don't really know that. They can only clear so much by staying in main, and there's this pinch onto this Sova, and it will find, and that shot's landing Ginkgo with 2. So, hey, that's exactly what you need, and that will prompt a B plant, and now you've got SFAM now on this back foot once again.
Yeah, great stuff. Again, we're going to have this 5 versus 3 for the defenders. I like that aggression, though, from Bisty. Shut down Ginkgo nice and quick. Zaps push on as well. And now the defenders are the ones defending this site from the aggression that's going to have to come out from this attacker side. I could see a potential stick. Zaps gets Sin taken down nice and quickly. We're going to see the stick try to come out. A great shock dart there, but it misses the spike. The defuse comes in. Pros don't fake. That's a thrifty victory for SFAM as INF does get 2 more down, but Zaps is the final kill of the round, bringing us 2-5 with INF's players completely killed.
Well, that's a thrifty, yeah.
Yeah.
That would do it. And unfortunately, though, yes, thrifties are important, but what makes them so dangerous? You have a weak economy, and you kill all of your players, you know, all of the players on the opposing side, and you get their guns. The only problem is they did not get a single one. That Blade Storm was used to get the kills, so you ended up just saving that classic at the end of the day. And here's this little bit of a DRX pinch, and Zaps will get 1, but will get traded right back out by Ginkgo with that little lovely classic. But look at this aggression out by B main. A pace change by the defense is something they really needed, and it is working for them perfectly.
Ginkgo backing up a bit. Tobita sees the conflict in the shadow step as Steven is extremely low, but the timing could be awful. Headshot comes out on Tobita as now we're seeing the attacker side get a little bit of mid control. Ginkgo gonna solidify that with the off body shot. However, Spike is still down for INF. They're still gonna have to push into these defenders. But as I say that, it looks like the defenders actually are going for the pinch. They're not going for this defense. And there you go. They're expecting these from the shadows to come out. A great play there allows the site control, but Riznik was expecting it. Waits for the plan to come out. Swings out. Takes down Evan and Ginkgo as well. A great 3K from Riznik allows the 3-5. And we're seeing the comeback come out here from SFAM.
Well, yeah, that's starting to go their way now. SFAM is looking a little bit better. And you thought for a second that they let that one slip. They had those picks. They realized that Omen ult was going to come in and pick up that spike. But you have to think, how dangerous would it have been to swing out? Assuming someone's holding that heaven smoke, you're going down, you're giving up that flank, and now it's just a 1v2. So luckily that worked out, but was that the right decision? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that was really, really risky stuff right there. I love SFAM's sudden aggression. They're pinching recently. They're learning how to change up their tactics, and they're keeping INF on their toes. These are two teams who clearly have a lot of strats to pull out here. But seeing seeing both these teams bring out these strats this early in the bracket, you gotta wonder, are they could get anti-stratted later on in the bracket. So although I like the idea of them keeping each other on their toes, and I like how toe-to-toe these two teams are going, it could be rough later on for them in the competition. And even if in this match here, if something keeps working and you keep doing it over and over and over again, at some point your opponents are going to learn exactly what you're doing. And unfortunately, that could happen to SFAM here if they keep trying to go for this aggression, which I think they're going to hit again.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, and this aggression seems to be working out for them, but of course this timeout will prompt that pace change that we do know and love, and that's something really, really important about timeouts. It says, hey, we're going to start thinking about it, but why not just counteract the fact that we're thinking about it? So yeah, both of these teams playing a little bit differently for this round, so things are going to go a little bit foreign for each of them, but that operator is not something foreign to the Sin's body, as he will fall right off the bat, and that will not be lovely for them.
Yeah, great stuff. However, great drone there as well to force the Omen back, and that's going to allow this A hit to come out. Bisty's caught out by the grenade there. Tobita, though, was still holding hell, but unfortunately, it's not going to result in anything. Ginkgo's going to take him down, and that results in the free spike down with a 4v4 on the horizon.
Yeah, 4v4, but look at this positioning. I mean, it is beautiful. That dart might be able to do something, but look at this KO. Well, it's going to be invested, but those bullets are still going to be very, very deadly. And Tamar is spotted.
One enemy remaining.
Wow. Great retake there from SFAM. I mean, great stuff. Incredible that we just witnessed. Free defuse right there as well. And you know, that's something I want to point out. I just mentioned, if you keep doing the same things, you're going to start to get adapted to. Ari, I don't know if you saw that there, but there was great positioning. I loved how INF did it. However, what they did also do is they did the same crossfire they did just a couple of rounds ago. And this time, SFAM was prepared. They expected that crossfire right below Hell. And they were prepared to take it down this time. So you gotta, I love their positioning, but it's already starting to get a little used to. SFAM's noticing the patterns that we like to see here from INF. So they're gonna have to be careful going into these next rounds for their post-plant positioning.
Imagine one of those bullets finds the head of that player there. That would just be pure and utter disaster. And here comes this fast A hit that seems to be that pace change once again, but ooh, that's Fam through the door. Might catch someone. Well, it might catch them back in reverse at the same time as well. So that door not going to get broken. The plant will go down. So 5v5 retake, which is a little interesting. But, you know, I think they have to realize there's some tree aggression, and Jinko will be getting two lovely, lovely picks to start this one off.
Yeah, great stuff right there. Riznik was able to get one, but Ginkgo starting to come up with the H2 HP. Can they do it? Oh, it's looking like we could see a save here from SFAM. Maybe not. They could also be trying to go for some exit frags, but it is going to be a save. I'm not surprised. Their economy is going to be kind of meh going into the next round, and the two weapons they still have their hands on are obviously very expensive. You have that Operator and that Odin. I do like how Talhar here is trying to find maybe a last pick, maybe a last exit frag, but timing works in Zap's favor this time. Yeah, Talhar not going to find that conflict, and there you go. That's going to be a 4-6. Great stuff from SFAM. We're having a major comeback here. They still have decent econ to buy. They still have a little bit of money. Unfortunately, Tobita is going to be stuck on the Spectre, but they have an Odin, they have an Op, 2 rifles. On the flip side, though, INF is great. They still have the round lead. They still have a lot of weapons. And let me remind you, this is a very, very defense-sided map. So going in with even just a 6-6 could be a really great position for INF to be in, while SFAM basically needs to get the last 2 rounds in order to have a hope at really winning this first map.
Yeah, and these players, these executes have been super, super strong for INF, and let's see if SFAM can survive this one. The Dink comes out, but there's a flash there and some bullets to take that down, so Cypher ult is here if needed, but looking for that body will not be found just quite yet. Talar looking at the wall a little bit, but there's some ults, there's some gunfire, and trades are coming out left and right. It's going to be Tobita getting one. And now it's a 3v2, but this Killjoy ult is forcing out some painful things. And one's detained. Can the
Nice.
cancel be found? It's going to be close.
Last
No, but
player
TP's
standing.
out, gets detained. So all the way across the map will not be able to do anything. And this spike will most likely explode.
Yeah, I mean, again, great stuff here from INF. They have great ways of getting on site with minimal loss, and their post-plan positions are really strong. And when one thing doesn't work, just switch it up. It's going to be that 1 versus 2. Of course, they're not going to go for it. They're going to try and save their weapons here from SFAM because, again, their econ's going to be rough. They might be able to buy some rifles, but
Last
it's going to
round
be
before the
it's going to be definitely rough. And for your last half, that is not the greatest position to be in. However, they do have enough to get Milford this Odin again. We've seen some great individual play with it. Let's see if we can see it here again, as they are going to go for this B setup, probably with the recon dart with the Cypher setup as well. However, this time, I think INF, although they are looking like they're going to hit B, I think they're more leaning towards this early mid control with Ginkgo and this operator.
And you know what I would love to see here? I'd love to see them aggress just a little bit early. I want them to use this Hunter's Fury, isolate that pick for themselves to get them at least some gun advantage here and not let this free reign mid space go in favor of INF. But it looks like they're not going to opt to do that, and not trying to get that free tag early could respond with them falling and losing some players. But you know, TGJ still struggling through this one as well, trying to hold this space against this high-low. Does he know what's in for him? We're only going to have to find out sooner.
Great stuff.
Deploying
Indeed.
drone.
Here we go. Still not a ton of action. It's still very quiet from both these teams. That's early info again on Sin, but they're expecting Sin to go ahead and be this lurk. So that's not a ton they can gain from that. However, maybe they should be, because it looks like we are going to see INF go for this B hit, but unfortunately, we're having a setup for this A. They're expecting the A. Milford does that jump peek, gets a lot of info, and we're going to see the hit come out here this time. Milford, though, with the recon dart, was able to get that first early pick. That's great stuff already. 25 seconds. They're going to have site control, but they do have that 1% disadvantage.
Oh, Devin should have went down there, but luckily survives, and now you have Ginkgo getting 2 here. This bomb still needs to get planted. So Zaps will get 1, but this Hunter's Fury, they're going to try and save it for this post plant. Will it be surviving? Yes, it will. And now Zaps, they know that this Hunter's Fury is there. So they're just going to try and aggress him. But all 3, the time is running lower. You need to get to the spike, and now you can't lose a player there too. You're telling me you got to get through this Hunter's Fury. It is looking rough for SFAM here, and they get 1 pick. They're looking for a second. There's a shots out by Sin. Sin will clean that one up. 8-4, and that Hunter's Fury was never used.
Switching
Yeah,
sides.
unfortunately, it was never used there. 8-4 on the score line, with INF already in a great round position, 4 rounds ahead. Even if they lose this pistol and the bonus, they'll still have that advantage. And on top of this, being a defender-sided map, they have a great composition for this defender half, with Sin, of course, on this Killjoy. However, I find it kind of interesting that they're actually going to have Sin go ahead and play A site, which you don't see all the time. Most of the time, you see Killjoy go ahead and be on that B site, but this time they're going to opt for an A site. And on the flip side, on this attacking side, SFAM, unlike INF last time where they went for a split, it looks like SFAM is going to go all together for a full push. And maybe even down mid, which could result in an early death from Sin here if Sin tries to swing out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's going to be something that's a little bit different with that Killjoy setup on A, but that's something that I also personally love to do when I play Killjoy on Ascent. First pistol round, you expect the B hit, or at least you expect that Killjoy on B, so most teams like to hit A. So what do? Set up that microwave for A. Do that. And that's why your luck is going to be kind of catching them off in that element of surprise, as Instagram Reels and TikToks most lovely like to show everyone nowadays. But you know, you have the stack over on this B site because this Killjoy can watch so much with this util. It's going to be really important to kind of hold on to all of this. And as we get started in this half, we're gonna see who takes the pistol round and momentum of this game currently.
And here we go, already back into the swings of things. Milford going in for this aggressive push. They have the spike though. Could be an early death, and there it is!
Down mid.
Devin! The classic right click takes 3 down. That's spike down. You just have the, at least they know at least one player's here. Now it's the last. Devin almost gets an ace with the ghost wallbang headshot, and Tahar backs them up. That's a flawless already on a round that SFAM really, really needed. I mean, that is going to be tough to come back from. However, INF also is going to have this now bonus weapons from winning that pistol round, and SFAM is going to be forced to use only classics going into this next round.
And Talhar, you're a little bit of a stinker, aren't you? Because you've stolen now not one, but 2 aces out from your team. So, hey, let them get their highlight clips. They got to put it on TikTok. They got to put it on social media. They got to send it to their moms, dads, you know, cats, dogs, squirrels, whatever you will. But Ginkgo now spotting the cam and not quite landing the shot, but pressure will be applied, and TGJ will get one with that Ares spray. That's a little bit unlucky for them.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Again, they're gonna have that player disadvantage. We've been seeing these sprays come out. It's a classic Silva strat that has also been around forever, and it's still working in this tier of play. It's already going to be a major disadvantage right here. However, maybe SFAM could still bring it back. I mean, they have 4 people. The only person on this site is Sin. However, there is going to be a setup that they need to combat through. And, of course, they're going to have this smoke against them. So, great paranoia. It looks like they are going to go for the push, but could be a little rough. No, actually, they managed to get it really, really easily. However, it's going to be a 4 versus 5 site hold with classics. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really rough with this gun suspension. Oh, so trying to make a sneaky play will not do so. Sin ready for that one. This door will get broken, and now it's Ginkgo looking for something. It's a flash that he spots instead, so Zaps will get the conversion there, but here comes the flood now. 3v2. INF still very much in control for now, and they get 1 pick. The second player spotted Intel and gets dinked up. The reload comes out, but waiting for TGJ. There's going to be some time that needs to come in, but it doesn't matter. Devin will get that final pick, put that 10th round on the board, and now benefit themselves and give them a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah, great stuff. Again, they're going to still have some extra guns. SFAM, though, let's not count them out yet. You know, it's not over until it's over. We still have some guns that they can use here. They still are not going to be able to buy up these rifles. So it could be pretty they still have a chance at winning a couple rounds here and starting their comeback, but they are going to be up against INF here, who's going to of course have what looks to be a fan favorite here in the chat, Ginkgo, on that operator. A great player indeed. And speaking of INF, we are going to take a little bit of a tech pause here. TGJ does have to take a quick restart. They're having ping issues. But I mean, what do you think of this map, Ari? Going into these next couple rounds, what do you think we're gonna see from these both these teams?
Well, I'm just looking at what we're seeing in terms of buys right now. Just even Ginkgo with this operator. I mean, maybe it's just having fun with this pause time being a thing, but that would certainly be a weapon to scare the living crap out of everyone over on the side of SFAM. But I mean, I think these teams are well evenly matched. It's just a problem for SFAM of trying to anchor down these sites. It looks like whenever INF wants to push, they have that tempo in their favor, and they're just going to dominate wherever they see fit and put their util down. So maybe you need to be a little bit more aggressive if you're SFAM. Try and take that space, and something that they're not quite doing.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. I mean, they sometimes it's like this, right? If they go to B, they're gonna have a hard time getting onto that site because of TGJ going with these spray weapons, able to get those wall bangs with the recon and the drone, right? Able to get such early info. If you rotate towards A, you have to deal with Sin's setup and often a smoke from Devin that really gives Sin a pretty solid chance at holding that site. And even if you do break through that, you then have a potential 4 or 5 person retake, and you are stuck trying to hold that spike down. So I would like to maybe, you know what we could see, which I'm not sure they would bring it out, but what's risky but might work is having SFAM, after they get the spike down, taking some more aggression, going up towards that heaven, after they take A site, or wrapping around towards tree and then pushing up towards the window. If they take that aggressive space and those aggressive angles, as long as they have maybe one or two still hold on to the site at its core, that could result in INF losing some really good players that like to play aggressive as well, like Ginkgo, and could allow that switch up of tempo to really startle INF, especially considering here they are going to have a Sheriff, a Stinger, they're going to have here Ginkgo with the Outlaw. Those are weapons that could definitely be bested by these rifles. So maybe going in with more aggression, a little bit of an overextension could actually be a viable plan here.
And something that we're going to see from them is they're on this attack side, so that overextension may not be that exactly that overextension. It might just be a sight hit, and something that they need to have is a little bit of confidence. So who knows at the end of the day? But we're seeing in the lobby just a little bit of banter on some VCT teams. So we've seen these players, they're rooting for Fnatic, they're rooting for PRX. Just a question for you, just a little bit of caster banter. Who are you rooting for in VCT?
Who am I rooting for? Oh man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not looking good for my friends in Sen. So if I wanted to root for a winning team, I might have to go ahead and root for Fnatic here, or maybe Loud. I do really like Loud, namely Sadak, with his personality. He's a really fun and funny guy. And them losing Aspas has been a really interesting turn of events. So I like seeing where Loud goes, and it'd be interesting to see after losing Aspas if they will still be able to hold their own in VCT. But who are you rooting for, Ari?
So I don't like to root for the top teams. I don't like to do it. I think it's a little cheap. Now, people are gonna call me weird, but I was rooting for EG before that thing happened. Before the whole shebang. Right when they had won their second game, I started rooting for them. So that's kind of when I started there. And so now I'm gonna take it, and I've kind of developed some alliances. I love my buddy Calm. I think Calm is a great player.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to root for Lev, and
that's fair.
I'm also going to root for C9. I think those are two teams that are kind of contrasting play styles. Love the color schemes. Gotta love the blue and love their bundle. But I think those are the two teams that I'm looking out for to take Americas and maybe give this one a run for Fnatic and PRX, a little run for their money.
Well, I'm also definitely looking forward to Cloud9. I think them losing to NRG, I was actually really quite sad at that loss there, and I'm hoping Cloud9 comes back even better, because I really like this kind of conflicting rivalry we have between Oxy and Demon One. For those of you who don't know, Demon One openly called out Oxy, who are both the duelist players on their respective teams. Oxy for Cloud9, Demon One now for NRG. Demon One openly called out Oxy and said, "Hey Oxy, I think you are the worst duelist in Tier 1 right now." And so that is obviously a very controversial thing to say. And me personally, I would like to see Oxy come up from this and give Demon One a run for his money, which yesterday you could argue, because they were toe-to-toe. It was a really, really tough match, and Oxy and Demon One both had picks against each other. But in the end, Demon One said at the end of the match yesterday, Demon One was like, "Listen, I don't care who we play. I don't care who it is. Any team, we could come in and beat them." So personally, I'm rooting for Oxy and Cloud9 in general to make their comeback there.
Well, did you see the post-game interview afterwards? He said he got re-asked that question, and he said, "Now that you've played Oxy, what do you think of the kid?" And he goes, "Kid's not bad. He's not bad."
yeah, exactly. I think Oxy definitely has their moment to come ahead and step up in general. But I'm looking forward to it.
And talk about kind of games that we've seen recently. We've also seen some games that have already happened, at least for the Reynas. We've had a few of them completed, not all of them, but you had teams like Team Cardinalis beating Asphyxia, and that was a 2-0. Flame Hard taking down Andromeda, that's a 2-0. PDND actually falls to a Layer Esports, so they get that one to 2-1, and then OOT or UUT, depending on who you talk to, they take down Lumina Gaming for a 2-0, and then V2X as well with that 2-0 in their matchup. So it's going to be something that we've kind of seen these common theme of 2-0s being that thing, and only 1-2-1 so far. So you think this one will stay kind of towards the trend?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised by Andromeda being 2-0'd by Flameheart there. Andromeda is a really, really well-known team. I've heard of them, and they've also got a pretty decent roster. So seeing Flameheart go ahead and take Andromeda with that new roster, that says a lot about Flameheart, and we could definitely see Flameheart continue on in this bracket after 2-0ing such a good team such as Andromeda. So I feel like that was kind of an upset in my opinion, but that's great to see as well. And also OOT against Lumina Gaming. Lumina Gaming also a pretty well-known team getting 2-0'd by OOT. We're seeing a little bit of upsets in this tournament, and we've also seen a lot of new rosters and a lot of new teams enter the Reina's Sphere with this tournament. So seeing these new teams come in, they have a lot to prove, and obviously they're doing it. However, I am hearing in my ear here, new news just dropped. Lumina actually FF to OOT. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough players to play that match. But again, with Andromeda and Flameheart, that's incredible stuff to see already. And this shows even in tier 3 and low tier 2 in general, you can have upsets like this where teams are able to beat some of the best because this is their time to prove themselves. They have potential.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about new players entering the Reina Sphere. You know a player that I would like to see enter the Reina Sphere?
Who would you like to see?
It's TGJ, because right now he's still not in the lobby and he's struggling to find some connections.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah, that's unfortunate for INF.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you think they could take that 4v5? Do you think they could get 3 rounds in a 4v5 if they could find enough things to go their way here?
Seeing how it's 4-10, maybe, you know, I'll say I'm a believer. Maybe they could still win it with this 4-5, but at the same time, they are going to be missing that strong Sova initiator hold I was just talking about on B site that I was highlighting with that Ares, that Odin spray. That's a strong key component of their behold, and without it, they could definitely fall, and we could see SFAM have that major comeback.
Well, hold up, it looks like we might have had him come back.
There we go.
The talk of a 4v5 may not be a reality. I mean, who knows? Maybe he just sits and spawn and says they don't need me anyway. What if he just joins back and then doesn't do anything for the rest of the game? I think it'd be really ironic to see how that goes. But you know, we finally get to see this game, and we finally get to see what is INF's bonus round. So it is just a matter of time on who will take this one, take momentum of the half, and overall put themselves in a really strong point to take this map, I think, looking towards the rest of the half.
Yeah, here we go. We are going to go ahead and see SFAM go in for this aggressive B main push. Door's going to get down. This is a really, really standard hit here. It's just TGJ, that disconnected player, to try and reconnect to the game, relock in, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. It's a free plant for SFAM and a 4 versus 5 retake attempt here from INF.
And like I said, that aggressive nature needed to be coming out from I just blanked on their name. That's crazy. But you know, they needed that aggressive nature, and they needed it to go their way, and they absolutely showed why it's gonna work. So now you have that 5v4 post plant, and some dangerous shots. Devin will take that first one, but the Stinger isn't super great for long range. Getting tagged up and stalled out will be that, but SFAM now getting those picks. But hey, Ginkgo's there with one, and this time is running low. But hey, if you just want to play for the exits, make sure you can take all these players down and that they can't save any sort of gun. It looks like that's what they're going for, and yes, they do. Devin will get 3 on that round, and they're gonna save 2 guns too. Look at that.
Yeah, great attempt there from INF. Eliminate all those SFAM players and put a major dent in their economy, which it's going to make SFAM's attempt at taking this round even harder. Look at this. They have 2 classics. Maybe they could buy a gun for themselves. They could try and force up here. But even then, if they lose this, that's going to be an 11-5 with basically no weapons in their hands. It's going to be hard. But on the flip side, INF, after that great elimination of all those players and that double save there, they have the weapons, they have the shield, the util, they have everything they need to shut down SFAM from getting this round. And what better way to shut someone down than sending a bullet straight to their frontal cortex?
Yeah, I would not like that if that was me. I don't think he would like that either. And SFAM, they definitely may not be ready for this push, and that's going to be that aggression that we love to see. It's just a battle of aggression. Who's going to make the right chances and take them first? And at this point, it doesn't even seem like a chance. It just seems like, hey, we're going to decide to win this round now. So I'm curious why these players aren't just going full aggressive nature. Now, of course, that's why they're the players. We're just the casters up in the booth. We don't know anything. But it's just about getting those timings, those picks, and right now, TGJ is going to get all 3 of them.
Great bait there. I believe that was from Talhar to allow TGJ to swing around and spray down those 3 players, completely ruin any chance of a retake, eliminating the competition. And like I predicted, this leaves SFAM with pistols at 5-11. They're playing it like it's a pistol round, actually less than a pistol round on the one of the last rounds of the game. This is a potential 5-12, and they're going to need a save here, so they do have guns on that map point. This is very unfortunate situation to be in. All they can hope for right now is get some early eliminations, get some early picks to allow them to get some guns in their hands, and then maybe you could have an attempt on taking that. But they're playing directly into Sin's setup. A swing comes out from Sin. They're able to take down Ginkgo able to take down one there, take down Milford. But look at this swing from behind. Talhar able to take down a bunch. Sin again to back him up. It's 1 versus 5 for Torpedo Mates. Yeah, not much you're going to be able to do. Ginkgo coming in there with a 3K, and even though it was all pistols, that's a flawless from INF to leave us 5-12, but now SFAM can buy.
Yeah, the only problem is with that save round there is you're now relying on the fact that you can win 7 rounds straight in a row. That's a little tough. And especially with how INF has been playing, it's not quite the easiest thing to do, and it looks like they're just going to maintain this aggressive nature with this KO flash, and it looks like they're doing this DRX style push, which is pinching over towards B mains. Anyone going to get it caught out? No, they're not, but they get all of mid space free. They get all of B main free. They know where this hit's coming in, that's for sure.
There you go. Free A site taken just like that. SFAM are going to get that spike down, but the question is, can they hold this retake? It looks like they're trying to opt for that. Torpedo Mate able to take down Ginkgo, gets traded out by Talhar there. It's still the 4 versus 4. Talhar gets caught with the knife out. Milford sprays him down with the headshot, and now it's this 4 versus 3. TGJ is going to come out with this recon drone, try and spot out anyone they can. They are going to spot out the one person on that side who's going to hide there in hell to try and bait out 4 zaps. But the question is, will INF be expecting it? Riznik goes for the spray. Thunder's Fury comes out to force Devin off the spike. They're caught out in the open. Saps is going to finish him off. And I mean, if you want to retake, that's how you want to start it. Bring it 6-12 and get that first round.
Yeah, and I love the play out by INF there. It was well called, but there's only one problem, and that's nobody's there! I mean, it's just unlucky that that happens in that fashion, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Now, you have this KO ultimate and the jet knives, so you are still in a very nice position to convert even just one of these rounds, and it looks like they're probably going to save these rounds, or at least save these ultimates, excuse me, up for the next few, at least to just stack them up and make sure they can just secure one round, because no point in wasting them one by one if all you're trying to get is one round.
Yeah, it's It's going to be a rough situation to come back here. We're going to see these attackers push up. Zaps! Nice headshot on Ginkgo, though. Sin trying to do a couple pop shots here or there. But nothing's going to be found quite yet. We could still see the opportunity to rotate as they do have that one-person advantage.
That one-person advantage is certainly nice to have, but, you know, you are attacking at the end of the day, and it becomes, where can you find the space? And does this cam spot out the Silva? It doesn't. So this could be a very rude surprise for these players if this corner goes unchecked. So this KO could be in for a rude awakening, but no, TGJ does get spotted out. So now you've kind of got TGJ in the rough positioning now, and it looks like they're gonna back off with this mid space. I don't know if I like this call. I think this is somewhere where they should have left somebody and forced that scary potential out.
Going for that A play. Milford gets the wall bang. Devin, though, able to take one down, do a lot of damage to another player as well. That's a pretty solid hold there. However, it does leave it in a 2 versus 4 retake scenario. It's looking like INF is going to struggle to take this back. Pop shots come from hell. It's going to make them want to go for this door push. Door's going to be shut, though. It is destroyed, but Riznik is here holding the spot. We're going to see a pitch come out from INF. But so far, it's not looking good. There you go. GGJ is going to get that headshot.
Phantom moment. that 124. Yeah, I hate to see. Oh, the dink comes out, I think. But it looks like DGJ is just going to try and hold for exits here because, you know, they have the economy, they have the ultimates. You should really try and focus on getting these picks and see if there's a timing there. There is one and not two. Well, you tried.
Yeah, tried indeed, but again, we're gonna have SFAM. Although they lost quite a bit of players, they're staying in this map, right? They're not giving up yet. 7-12. This is a really solid start to a comeback. And if they lose their players here, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard to buy up again, but they still have the money to do it. On the flip side, though, look at INF. They're again gonna have the money to buy up their guns, their util, and they have 3 ultimates on the board. If they bring out all these ults, they could definitely shut down map 1 here, and it looks like they're gonna go ahead and do that with the Bladestorm already coming out for Ginkgo.
Yeah, the Bladestorm, I mean, I like it. I like this call here. Certainly one of those ultimates that can turn around, but, well, there's a little bit of a spot out, and this mid aggression taken once again. It looks like both teams have decided to kind of just give mid for free. They're okay with giving that one out, but here comes the flash in, and nobody's gonna swing off that. So interesting, they try and add some pressure there, but nobody takes that space. So that space can just get re-cleared with a free little jiggle.
Again, they're trying to push up towards this A tree, but this time, SFAM is ready for it. Takes down Sin nice and easily. Now it's Ginkgo trying to swing out, but they're gonna, just barely escapes the knife there. Tries to swing out again. Milford gets a plant. Bisty takes down Ginkgo, and again, Ari, that leaves us in this 5 versus 3.
Ooh, whoever wins this fight, well, okay, it's certainly Devin. That timing was not there. Oh, and the fragment gets one as well, so that's really valuable. Oh, this wall bang should come out. This player should go down. Yep. And oh no, it's just down to Beastie. Can Beastie find one of these 3 players before this tap comes out? It's going to be very rough, and it looks like these players will get the final spray in favor, and they will take this map, and INF doing what they came here to do and take this map.
Yeah, great stuff there already. An incredible start from INF. I liked the attempt at trying to have a comeback there from SFAM, but INF simply was able to wrap it up. And I think part of that was SFAM is a strong team, but they lost so many players on that lost so many rounds on that defending side where they had the advantage that when they switched to the attacker where they were on that disadvantage, it was hard to bring it back. And INF players made the top 3 players in the entire lobby that round. That is incredible stuff to see.
Yeah, I mean, that is just how you do it, I guess. It's get your players to do well, and your whole team's gonna win, I guess. Like, that's just kind of 2 + 2 = 4. That one sums it up. And those teams, you know, well played. We started to see some adaptations out by SFAM, but they just couldn't quite find it in the end, a little bit too late to stack those rounds up, and putting yourselves down 7 straight rounds is not a place you want to be in. And unfortunately, they will fall short, but they're going to try and bring it back on this next map of Sunset.
Yeah, hopefully, but you will have to wait just a little bit. Until then, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, give our players a rest after that hard-fought match, and we'll see you all shortly.
Yeah, I'm the king when I'm in the rain. I'm a G when I'm in the vein. Gone picks on the middleman. Ain't nothing but a go dang. I'm the king when I'm in the rain. I'm a G when I'm in the vein. Only picks on the middleman. Ain't nothing but a go dang, go dang. Hit him with the left, right. Talk with you to be far door. Let the boys get night, good night. I'ma show you who's the pro. Hit him with the left, right. Talk with you to be far door. Let the boys good night, good night. I'ma show you who's the pro. Fry paper quiz and my mic on. 你们的一起上面没准准备开工。胜不了你的战术，真的报告的梦。Get this one diamond down，选择大是开工。Yeah， flexing on 的高实力，不用真金白。放个风，这期的分析师都带领。让我们懂这个家人们换歌，太被娱乐风声。Cause all I do is bring on my neck. You better call it quit, real great。叫我生命叫什么品牌切，把胜利变成现实，期待敌人麻烦 rest in peace。Squad people about to take it over。这个同时真的称霸，白面身上。你的人生比谁更能打，在你双腿或者少的我们在你绝大，见不敌人负的选择选择用我们的 red eye，兄弟告诉兄弟别怕，越大的天才才会证明我的 real ones， 绝杀的功力我们并不缺乏，学家敌人在心里之后别挂，啦，全线地盘扩大，拿下吧，赌上所有身价，大运用我的技法，击垮对手这场游戏胜利赢家。Yeah, I'm the king when I'm in the ring. I'm a G when I'm in the ring. Only picks I beat the middleman. I'm the king when I'm in the ring. Yeah, I'm a G when I'm in the ring. Only picks I beat him. Yeah, I'm the king when I'm in the ring. I'm a G when I'm in the van. Only picks on the middleman. Ain't nothing but a go dang. Yeah, I'm the king when I'm in the ring. Yeah, I'm a G when I'm in the van. Only picks on the middleman. Ain't nothing but a go dang, go dang. Hit him with the left, right. Talk with you to my far door. Let the boys get night, good night. I'ma show you who's the pro. Hit him with the left, right. Talk with you to my far door. Let the boys get night, good night. I'ma show you who's the pro.
Renegade, Horoscope, 24. Got him all blood, but I kick home. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit, boom, up 400 dash wall. Got through 300 deep and move. Get lifted, but I need get cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me, oh, double nine. Telephone cut that rain. Shout out my son for the rain though. I don't want cut my lane. Running fist fire, scale no grace. Go pop one ring, go break one bench. I pop missile if I wish I put one pistol on my head. Was popping and popping, love in the morning. Blue come over to come in the morning. Vogue in the flick, poster forming. Confident boy run a halo on me. Jealous in the NBA, fill up in the air. I be hitting minimal when I'm on the air. Yeah, boy so pitiful, wanna be my pet. Oh well, good boy, catch a bone on the stair. Renegade, Horoscope, 24. Got him all blood, but I kick home. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit, boom, up 400 dash wall. Got through 300 deep and move. Get lifted, but I need get cool. Let's do flat over your head. Body got another on me. Oh, skittle my life. Skittle. Grape head flavor. Grape. Take all the vibes. Right side center. Pesky side. I need to spinner. Blind with a face, spin relay on this light. We gon' see where to take off. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1. I am the chosen one, that's how I feel. I ain't tripping on rewind. The blessing I got from the angels around me are really some A1.
Renegade, 你先将我包围。Renegade， 弄我自我击坠。雨落下，扣紧我外套。一辆车穿梭在轨道。你不想成为我目标。Renegade go on the mall.
Renegade, Horoscope, 24. Got him all blood, but I kick home. Pedal on a pedal with an old 3 kit, like where you at. Body coming out on me. Oh, double nine.
Where you been? I'm back, let's bump that. Got a phantom in my hand, I'll clutch that. Get an agent on flank, got a loop back. Shall we simmer on down with a 5-step? Where we been? I don't know, going downtown. Got the city lights secret like a ghost town. Got the butterflies hiding all spooked out. Cause we got radiant night, you better bow down. Now, whoa, you from Omega with the oh no. I'm with the alpha and you know, don't make that take a spike sound. Put that away, you'll hurt yourself. Being ink, I'll let it all come your way. We got plenty for you, boy. Just say we got sheriffs, so sorry, eyed boys. Got the venom highs, blown to the venom well. Who's that? Know this. When my back's against the wall, all the mirrors will dissolve. Bring the heat, bring it on. Watch me ignite. I go inside. No footsteps. Moving to position. Signal. I'ma take you all down like dominoes. I'ma take you out with another spike drop. Overheated, but I love to lock and load. I hear the echo. I hear the echo. Bang bang, run it back. Team with the versatile. Ba-ta-ta-ta-ta all day. Enough with the chit chat. Steady with the one tap. I'ma set it off. Just wait. Oh, eres la omega con la oh no. Sabe que la alfa soy yo. Go, vete, vuelve cuando no estoy así. Desapareció. Oh, ¿cómo piensa que no? Traigo la peña, las de Shadow Fellow. Ya me chatarro que se va a hacer rico. De lo que dejaré ti por el suelo. When my back's against the wall, all the mirrors will dissolve. Bring the heat, bring it on. Watch me ignite it. We're from different worlds. Mirror, mirror eyes. Can you feel the burn? Watch me ignite it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. We finally got ourselves map number 2. So, hey, the wait's over. You're at least you're here, and hopefully we won't have to wait for TGJ again. That fingers
Mhm.
crossed won't happen again. Do you have any wood to knock on? I guess my floor.
My desk here.
There we go.
I got you. Yeah.
All right,
there,
problem solved.
there you go.
So we get this one, right now 1-0 lead in favor of INF, but now we go to SFAM's map choice. So they are very much still in this one.
Yeah, I mean, an incredible Ascent matchup there. INF taking it against SFAM. I believe 13-7 was the score. SFAM really tried to put up a fight on that attacking side, but INF really had it down. They know when to switch their strats. Their timing is right. Just their team chemistry is fantastic, but it's balanced by individual play. So we're going to need to see more of that come out from SFAM here. And now that we're heading into a map like Sunset, now we're going to have where potentially we could see compositional differences. And it looks like that's coming out right here. SFAM is going to go ahead and lock in that Raze, Killjoy, and Skye here. While on the flip side, it looks like INF is going to go more with a Breach pick, a Fade pick, and actually we're going to have a double controller comp on the side of SFAM with Riznik on that Astrolock combined with Bisty on that Omen, which could be interesting. I'd like to see how Astra is utilized on this map. I think that could have some potential. But INF, of course, is going to go ahead and go with this double initiator comp, where we're probably going to see some more aggression from INF, getting that info from the Fade, and I mean, everyone knows the Breach util, how much potential and damage you can do with that.
What is this comp out by SFAM? Like,
yeah, this
real
is a little
talk.
bizarre.
What? They played KJ on a Cypher map and Cypher on a KJ map. So, I mean, hey, if they want to enter the kitchen, I guess I'll let them cook, but they're going to have to serve me a nice little dish. Otherwise, I'm going to be questioning their methods. But not only that, you're talking double controller, and it's not a Viper or Harbor in there. It is just Astra and Omen. You have 2 circle smokes, so that's a little interesting. But yeah, we might get a little bit of a restart going here, depending on
Alrighty.
Okay. Take 2.
So about getting into that match, Ari, I don't think we're going to do that quite yet, as the entirety of INF basically disconnected, and SFAM as well is having some disconnects of their own here. 4 disconnects, 5 disconnects on SFAM. We are going to go ahead and go with this full-on restart, it looks like here. So, looking back at these comps, right, you are going to have those 2 circle smokes, which is going to be kind of, could be difficult to utilize, because unlike having that Viper where you can have a wall to cover both A in mid or B in mid, or where you have that sort of adaptability and that map-wide presence that Cypher has, instead, we're not going to have that. You're going to have those 2 circle smokes, and of course, there's kind of a caveat to using Astra. Astra is very viable, very adaptable. I personally used to be an Astra main, so I might be a little biased there, but the problem with locking that Astra is, of course, you have that limited smokes in a round. Once you use your 4, your 5, you're done. You can't use anymore. So that's going to be difficult to utilize, and they're going to have to be very careful how they use it with Omen, or else being against that double initiator comp. If they don't cover the right angles, they could actually be those smokes could come against them. So it's going to be kind of rough utilizing both these smokes.
I wonder what comps we're gonna see. Ooh.
I wonder. Maybe we could see it's a Fade. Maybe
Neon.
I don't know.
Neon.
Aw, damn. Imagine
Not
a
a
Yoru.
Neon? Well, I mean, hey, I would take
It's
a Yoru
viable.
on this map. Yeah.
It's viable. Yeah.
I don't think I would want Oxy's Yoru on this map, however. That was a little bit troll, I'm not gonna lie. There was some fundamental issues going on there. And I love Oxy. I love Oxy. He didn't seem too comfortable on that one.
It seemed a little awkward at times. That was kind of a weird map from both sides. There was a couple of times too. Demon 1 was like a little all over. However, of course, once Demon 1 got on that operator, it was kind of over. But we're not talking about VCT here. We are back with the Reynas. We're finally able to get into this map too here. You are watching INF Esports Next Gen play SFAM Esports with Next Gen being on their series point here if they win this map, but SFAM, of course, going to try and take this map and keep us in this BO3.
Yeah, and talking about even just the momentum from last game, I feel like any sort of kind of momentum is just gone now. It's been too long.
Yeah.
There's a 10-minute break. You're telling me that any one of these teams knows how last game went? I forgot who even started the first round. So
there you go.
It's just about taking this map one at a time, and hopefully they can get something done here. But if they had known that they could just walk out and be main, I mean, what a play that would have been. But of course, you assume somebody's holding a smoke onto the entrance of a site, right? That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, of course. That is a very, very standard play here. Now we're going to go ahead and see SFAM try to rotate towards this A hit. There is, although, a dreaded first Astra Star of the game waiting here. And is it going to come to fruition? I don't think so. It looks like INF is going to have a misread here. Go ahead and start stacking up on B site, when in reality, the actual hit is going to come out here on A.
Interesting how they use this kind of Cypher utility. They use it kind of just to lock down mid, which doesn't really help them for these site executes, which kind of is the key of saying, hey, we're going to be going for site retakes a lot, at least with this current setup. And ooh, Milford's going to be forced to make some sort of movement here, but all these players, this could be a very scrappy fight ahead of us.
There you go. Jinko gonna get the first of that scrappy fight by taking down Riznik. And now we're at kind of this standoff as the smoke falls. But in the end, INF completely wipes out SFAM there with the only pick gonna be on from Milford there. And that's gonna be our first round. A great, actually really great retake from INF. And I'm thinking now, if they are going to play for those retakes consistently, maybe that is why they went for that Cypher util. Unlike other Sentinels where they have to be close to their setup in order to activate it, Cypher does, of course, have that map-wide presence where their trap wires are always on all the time as long as Sin is not killed. So maybe that's why instead of opting for trying to hold these sites all the time like a Killjoy player would, they are going to go for the Cypher and consistently play for these retakes and or the aggression.
I mean, that just kind of shows the duality of Cypher, really. It's not about, hey, I'm always going to play retake. You could threaten the fact that, hey, we're actually stacked in the site. You have no clue if how many players are behind a singular trapwire, and that's the duality of Cypher. That is the beautiful thing. I mean, look, you've got a cam over on B site, and Cypher's all the way on A site, but
exactly, yeah.
For SFAM, they're just going to try and take this one slow, try and get the space, but none seems to be given to them because of these Cypher tripwires. I think they did get the one in top mid, so that at least will provide them something, but you can just easily hold that with one player, especially when you have the gun advantage.
1 minute to try and find something. SFAM is playing this excruciatingly slow, and what it's going to result in is them full pushing, and it's going to be scrappy. It's going to be rough. They're going to be pushing into setups that have existed for a while. Tahar setting up for the breach util. Swings at the wrong time. Great use of the util there. Devin swings. And Tabita, though, trades it out. That's a good starting pick, but with 30 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to push into the Cypher util. There's a trap layer right there. A perfect play result. And a great util uses TGJ, takes down Milford, but Tabita trades it out again, and all of a sudden, it's a 2 versus 2. 20 seconds on the clock, and somehow, miraculously, even though they're at such a disadvantage, SFAM has managed to get onto site. We could see the util come out, though. Again, it's going to force Zaps off, and it's going to result in a pinch from INF here, from Boba and from Market. Sin's going to swing, but they're taken down. Bisty with a classic. Now it's just Tahar to try and swing. Util misses, and Bisty gets a 3K. That's a thrifty right there. With just pistols, it's actually going to be SFAM who takes that round.
Well, that's not exactly what INF wanted to do. They certainly did not want to get thrifty. And what ends up happening is exactly that. And now you're thinking, okay, they figured out what the hole in our setup was. What was it? I don't know. Maybe bum rushing the site and then not being able to retake was kind of the thing that they recognized, which is really concerning considering it's only round 2 that they already have that read on your team. So now the aggression coming back out will get at least Jinko a kill, but will that trade come in? It will. So you kind of have this 4v4, and you have Devin in a decent enough spot, but opts to give up the space.
Yeah, giving up the space once again, and now SFAM kind of has the opportunity to take this space again to go for this mid control. But the question is, how do they want to play it again? They're again going to be stuck in mid with this 1 minute control. So maybe going for mid isn't the most viable play, and I support this decision to try and go towards A. However, they're smoked off. You have the Cypher hold and GGJ. They're ready to get some more info and the swing off of this spy cam info. And we're going to see this Astra util come out. We're going to see it be utilized. But it's actually going to allow SFAM to get some control. Bissy missed the first couple shots, but gets the wallbang headshot, able to escape with their life as Tobita Mate sprays down GGJ. And now it's a 2 versus 4 retake here for SFAM as they get the spike down.
And SFAM, they're not necessarily playing insane by any means. I think just INF, their communication's off. Their coordination, it's not doing super hot right now. Their util, not exactly the best for all of the teammates, and it seems like we're kind of just playing a little bit of TDM here, but, you know, at least some guns will be able to, I think, get picked up here, or at least something trying to get salvaged. No, not quite, and now you just have this pinch coming in through elbow, trying to hold this, play for exits, and the spot is there. Swing out, Devin will get 1, but Beastie will get 3 on the round, and that thrifty adds up to a little extra as it becomes 2-1 for SFAM.
Yeah, great stuff right there for SFAM. Now they're going to have these extra guns. They're going to have these extra shields. And INF is on the back foot. When they took the pistol round, this is not a normal Valorant match that we are witnessing. INF on this back foot. They're going to be able to buy up here. But if SFAM shuts them down, that's definitely a possible 4-1, maybe a 5-1, which is not an ideal position to be in. So they got to take this right here, right now, and hopefully this double smoke comp can give them some more control to be able to shut down INF.
Yeah, and for some reason, it's working. So I said, hey,
Mhm.
let them cook.
you
It's
go.
working. For whatever reason, they get the trip, which is really, really nice by kind of SFAM. They're realizing, hey, this is what their Cypher is going for. Placing that trip early and then trying to cover that space without having anyone watching it. But now, with that smoke there, it provides so much pressure. I'd rather them, honestly, use those trips for B main, and you can double stack that mid because they are so aware of it. Once you lose that trip, you have to thin out your defenses, and that's the weakness of Cypher. But Talhar having at least a weakness to Riznik's bullets, and Riznik trying to look for more will opt to back off with that Prowler. So, 1-for-1, and these teams still relatively even.
Yeah, great stuff right there. 4-4. Spike was dropped though. They're trying to keep open the possibility of rotating. And although this slow playstyle scares me, I
30
have to give them
seconds left.
credit. It has allowed them to be very unpredictable and really catch INF off guard. They're not revealing their full hand, but now they just might as they swing TGJ, able to take down Zaps, but Riznik is going to get that nice trade there, keeping it 3-3. We're gonna see this smoke come out, but are they gonna expect Ginkgo to play right here? The answer is no, and one headshot and another. Inshell goes the wrong way though. It's to beat a mate in a 1 versus 2. They do have the lockdown and the spike in their favor.
I would have liked for that rotate to come in just a tad sooner, realizing how little time was left and hearing how many footsteps were over in a main. But now you have yourselves a 2v1. This Molly's going to do a great job of stalling this one off just for the time being. But there is a possibility Sabita could win this one, but it's going to have to be very fortunate for them. There's one, but Devin will secure that one and bring it out. So luckily for INF, they equalize and they bring this one to 2-2.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward at the start there. I can't lie. At the start of this match, I mean, but now we're kind of in that sort of standard Valorant Pro territory, right? 2-2 on the scoreline. Both these teams are going to be able to buy up rifles. Some are gonna. I mean, INF is gonna be a little bit weaker, but it's an equalized matchup. They both have 2 ults in their favor right now, and interestingly, both these ults are kind of favoring the opposite playstyle. You have the lockdown in the from the shadows, which could be used in a very defensive way on this attacker side, and you have the right there, the showstopper, an offensive type weapon in the defender's side. And there you go. It's gonna solidify that first pick on Riznik, and also gives a lot of info that hey, it's probably B site here, especially considering we're gonna see this attacker Killjoy ult come out. Great from the shadows right there. Allows them to really get ready to secure this site. And it might result in a potential rotate from this attacking side. No, they're going to try and commit. Ginkgo able to get 3 before getting taken down. It's a 2 versus 4 again. Tahar takes down Milford. Sin wraps it up. And that's a 3-2 for INF to take the lead for the first time this match.
I understand the play that was kind of made there. You lose full A main control with that Raze pinching up through that tiles area and all of those players just running it down A. However, because you lose A, I don't think you have enough time to activate that lockdown. It allows for those rotates to come in, and you have to assume that, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4 players are spotted on A. There's only 1 or 2 over on B in time, so I think you just try and truck through those Cypher trips and call it a day, but it's just tough to make the right call sometimes, and INF, they made theirs known.
Yeah, it was just a rough time indeed. Loved what we saw there from INF. And now again, we're gonna see this this slow sort of play style come up from SFAM once again. And I love the way INF is playing here. They're still trying to let SFAM play into them, wait for them to play into exactly what INF wants, but at the same time, it's not super easy for SFAM all the time. I mean, sorry, INF all the time. SFAM is really playing unpredictably, and what we're seeing really highlighted by both these teams is their quick decision making. How fast do they calm rotates? How fast do they work together? And right now, this is a risky play from INF. We haven't really seen before. They're going in for this early sort of aggression with the one-way smoke. It's gonna fall, and INF is still trying to swing a bit while it's gonna be SFAM who is on this more defending look here. The conflict is gonna come out. Zap swings, gets a headshot on Ginkgo. TGJ is going to back up a bit, calming it out. Hey guys, it's looking like an A site. The Seekers are going to come out to confirm that, and we're going to see this hit come out right now, Ari.
Oh boy, this could be dangerous, I think. Beastie was spotted, but no, not quite yet, but there's a dink. That's a wallbang moment, but hey, Talhar will get one for his troubles now. Milford taking that one down, but time is running low. You need to get this bomb down, and the Flood could be here in time if they want to activate this Fade ultimate, but they're going to opt not to. They're going to say, hey, I guess let's give our opponents time to heal up, and we're going to regroup, but that's a Astro Wall. Here comes the Fade ult now, too, and Ristic cannot hear a darn thing. That is going to put them in a really rough spot, so you can see it where it is, and oh, but running into the player, not knowing, but now knowing that this player is on. Oh my gosh, Riznik is in the spot of a lifetime, but do they know? It seems like they do now, and yeah, he is gonna fall after no one else could stall long enough for him.
There you go. Spike is going to go ahead and get defused. Not giving to Cypher, obviously, has that ult already. And now we're seeing INF step it up. I mean, if you break it down, INF is not doing that bad here. They have decent econ. The 2 rounds they lost were because they lost their bonus, which is a really, really rough start. But now that they've recovered their economy and kind of recovered their mental, taking a step back and looking at the wides, like the wider view, right? Looking at the way things are looking at right now, INF is in a really good position. Full util, full armor, full guns, has an ult. It's actually going to be SFAM who is on this disadvantage here. So they need to take this round again to try and shut down INF's momentum, or INF is going to keep taking round. And let's see if that happens right here. No, Devin is going to go ahead and back up and not give any free picks to SFAM.
Yeah, that would look like a problem for a second, but I think he spotted 2 there, so just gonna opt to put the smoke in here, and that trip will get broken. So, you know, that goal that they always try to go for, breaking that trip in mid, they do succeed on that, but it's about getting onto site at the end of the day. They've been able to do that, but not hold off these post-plant retakes, so well played at least for INF there, and Devin will get the first one of this round, and woo, trying to escape out of there, narrowly missing the bullets, but Devin's just having a game of his life right now.
Yeah, great stuff you like to see right there. A great first pick already for INF against SFAM, but I like what SFAM's doing. They're waiting out. They're using some of INF util, and they're waiting for the perfect time to strike. Of course, they're also waiting for Riznik to wrap around towards this market, but the problem is Sin is going to spot it out. Here comes the hit we've been waiting for. Showstopper is going to be pulled out. Rocket Fuse is about to go out. Devin is sneaking around. Sin gets the first pick, taking down Riznik. They still haven't spotted out Devin. What a great ult, allows a lot of info, but the concuss is going to come out. The smoke falls at the wrong time. No, Devin still has not been spotted. Now that smoke's going to fall. Zaps. Swings, Sin does a little bit of damage, swings back out there in an uncomfortable position. DGJ gets 2, and now it's a 1 versus 4. INF about to take another round, 5-2. That's what you like to see, ladies and gentlemen. After being at that starting numbers disadvantage, INF was able to wait out the util and wait for the perfect time to strike, and it allowed them to take the round.
Yeah, INF, they're looking stronger right now, and that's going to prompt this timeout now by SFAM, but SFAM, they're doing okay. They really are. They're not at this massive disadvantage. It doesn't feel like they have the wrong reads half the time. It's just the bullets aren't landing in their favor. Of course, that might be back off of the util, but let's just put it this way. INF they were struggling in the first few rounds because their util and coordination wasn't on. Now it's on. So is this just evidence of, hey, INF is a better team? Or is it, hey, they're just playing really well right now. Let's step it up. Let's take this time out, reset the mental, reset the playbook, and let's figure out what their gap in the defenses is. We did that earlier, but we need to do it again now.
Well, I'd say their biggest flaw right now, right, for INF is they don't have that killjoy. They don't have that complete locked down site. So what I would do to try and exploit that is go for a full push. You have double orb smokes, right? Have Bisty and Milford go ahead and smoke off a bunch of angles on B, then allow Zaps to try and get into B site with a nice quick push up with maybe a double satchel or something similar. And then you have Milford with the flash that you could throw through the window and really allow Zaps to take some space, allow your team to push up and clear out the site for util. And that could be a really, really solid, aggressive push you have right there. And then, of course, you have your Killjoy for the post plan. I think what they need is a lot of aggression, and it looks like they're going to try and do that right now. They need to play to what they have in their composition, and once they start doing that, they will really start to take an advantage.
Oh, and players get out, but is that known? Yes, it is. Oh, Devin looking for the shorty, but this is going to be rough. Sin gets two, and now Milford's trying to get something, but the Sheriffs are not enough, and it's a 3v1, and Riznik looking to salvage anything if possible, but it looks like he's going to get ran down. He's going to run, Forest run. He's going to run all the way to mid, and he's going to meet this fade here, and yeah, that one's not going to go too well for him either. So now it's a guessing game of who's going to swing him first and who is it going to be. It's Scholar, and he gets one, but it's Devin that cleans this one out.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff right there. 6-2 for INF is a really, really solid start and a really, really solid position to be going in to the next half. The most you can do is equalize it, or worst you can do, sorry, is equalize it 6-6, but you still have a potential 10-2, 8-4, 9-3 on the scoreline here. You have a lot of options, and you have a really, really solid foundation. Now, I liked the aggression we saw there from SFAM, and the reason they went for that aggression is because they didn't have the guns that they had, but now that they had the guns, they're going to start playing slow again. And what I want to see is the aggression and confidence that they had on pistol round, but with these bigger rifles, because I think that switch up will do a lot for them in this game.
Ooh, that one getting a little scary for Devin, but, you know, I just want to talk about one thing. Hey, 11-2 still on the table. That Fnatic curse is still a thing, so there are no team that is out of it right just yet. So Riznik will try and fend off this A pressure, but you've kind of seen this before with that A pinch, this A stack, and now you have to imagine, hey, that Raze just used a satchel. That's probably on top of that box. Maybe there's someone holding that high-low. That would be really, really convenient, and hopefully that soul read is there, but chances are probably not, as that is a little bit of a gamble at the end of the day. But look at this regroup towards B site. We might have ourselves a B hit.
We could definitely see it come out here. Fade Util comes out to try and spot out exactly where Tobita is, but it's still nothing is found. Still slow. 35 seconds. Ari, it's going to be close as they go for this hit. Unfortunately, Zaps double satchels in a way. That looks like a spaceship from the NASA space program. INF Sin takes down Milford. TGJ takes down Riznik there. Bisty, though, does catch it up a bit by taking down Sin. However, it is once again going to be SFAM on this disadvantage. They are going to get spiked down, but at what cost? 2 of their teammates' lives.
Oh, and that TP not spotted, but I think it was her just barely, and yeah, they are aware, and Jingo will kind of clean this one up. So, hey, it's working. Are you gonna give the defuse? Yeah. Are you gonna give the defuse to? Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, she does get that. It was just a little bit of a visual bug. Okay, she does get the orb. So I mean, yeah, 7-2. You couldn't be asking for much more other than some flawless rounds in here. But hey, keep it up if you are INF. SFAM, they took that timeout and they still haven't been able to get a round off of it. So you have to imagine they've got something cooking that maybe just isn't working for them right now. And they just need to find what is going to work for them, because they are struggling and they need a few rounds now. They want to keep themselves in this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying their best to try and put some rounds together, see what they can do, but it's going to be rough. Showstopper comes out as we're going to see a lot of mid-congression come out from INF. This is a complete switch up to what we've been seeing. They want to get out of this match. They're sick of the slow gameplay, and they're going to start it off with the Rolling Thunder combined with that Showstopper allows an absolute slaughter of SFAM. They're going to try and shadow step. They're running from their lives. It's looking like just the Dunkirk evacuation at this point. They're just trying to survive. TGJ takes down the last two, and that's a flawless win from INF against SFAM. 8-2 on the scoreline. I mean, what an absolute slaughter from INF.
Well, I did say they couldn't ask for much more other than a few flawless rounds, and they must have heard me, I guess, because that's exactly what they went out there and they did. They got a flawless round, but you know, there was that at least enough credits saved for the, you know, the next round if it goes all wrong, which it did. So they have full guns here for SFAM. They have the ultimates. It's still very, very winnable for this one, but they got to get themselves back in it here. If they can't get it here, I have to imagine their mental is in the drain. It is in the gutter. It is in the lowest part of whatever your mentality can be in.
Just as well as Zaps. 1 minute 20 on the clock. Trying to push up just a little bit. Pop shots are coming out as well. Bisty's going to do a little bit of pop shots as well, but look at this amount of aggression coming out from SFAM now. They're taking notes from INF. They're going to do their homework on that last round, try to learn from it, but what you aren't learning is anything if there's a bullet in your brain. Now we're going to see Talhar try and do a little bit of a flash to deny SFAM's push, but it's still coming in quick. Forward to forward, swing your left, check your corners. It's Talhar, 1-2, Jinko able to back him up. Tobita, though, able to catch it up once again, and now we're back in this 1 versus 2 against Steven and Sin, ready to swing around. Gets the headshot, sees Sin, but they're not able to. Sin wraps it up, 9-2 on the scoreline for INF.
Last round in the half.
And that round does become a little bit plausible there, just barely not landing the shots, and it's just... yeah, it's a tough one. You're looking at maybe a 10-2 half. That was a forced up round last round. So now you're looking at not everybody having full shield, not everybody having guns that they want. And it's just, hey, if you get one pick for INF, you're talking a Cypher ult, you're talking all of the plans completely ruined, and aggression is probably sure to find you.
I mean, it's... What do you do at this point? Now you have double operator coming up from INF. They made a complete switch from that over-aggression to now, hey, let's go ahead and bring out the big guns, bring out the more defensive weapons, let INF play into us. And INF on the last round of their half is stuck with things like Sheriffs, maybe a rifle here and there, but still not the best situation of being, not the best guns. And now it's just going to be another slow round with SFAM going to go ahead and have to play into INF.
And maybe something there kind of tripped them up. They thought there was some aggression over towards mid, but they're just going to take that time to re-clear it. And that mid smoke could keep them a little bit paranoid, but this Cypher is going to have to be the one to hold it down on B. So how much can you get there? And it looks like this trip is going to be broken by this paint gel, so that will happen. And here comes the B execute. Now, the one-way cage is not going to come out just quite yet, so you're going to have the plant, but there's the star. And it looks like picks are getting trades, so still decently favorable for, oh my gosh, INF, but Jinko is still very much there. There are picks going their way, just like they love to see it. Zap's now going to try and secure an extra kill, but now getting crossfired out of his life, and now it's just down to Milford. Can Milford find one? Yes they can, but it's just Jinko that is getting a 3K on the round, and I like that catchphrase, just Jinko.
There you go. Just Jinko indeed. 10-2 on the scoreline there for INF.
Switching
an 8-round differential going into this half. We're going to need to see some major plays here from SFAM. However, you could argue that now they're on the side where they're going to be a little more built for, right? They have this double controller, and they also have Killjoy as their sentinel. However, same thing could be argued for INF, right? You have the breach, you have that double initiator, you have that breach and that Fade now on the attacking side that could be really utilized for some easy aggression combined with that Paranoia, and of course Raze as a character, Jinko on that Raze. It's going to be tough stuff indeed, but let's give SFAM the benefit of the doubt. They definitely have a chance to come back. They started to last match. Maybe this is the one they start to do it, and it all starts with this pistol round.
Ooh. Well, that would be Milford getting a pick just barely, but now you're talking about a flash coming out, and a bird will not quite do much in favor of the bullets, and so Telhar will find that pick. But now Zaps is the one stranded on site. The teammates are starting to rotate in, but Sin is getting into this dangerous spot, and do they know that the turret's there? That's the question. Trying to hold this rotate off, but looks like Talita is going to opt finally to back off now because the noise was canceled. So I really like this play here. This is going to be really, really nice. And there's the breach flash. Sin's going to bait everything over towards mid, but look at this Raze. This poor Raze on the A site is going to allow for that free A plant to come down.
Yeah, there you go. Free plant 4-2-3. Make that a 3-3 though. As Sin is finally taken down after stalling a lot of time there in mid. And now it's going to be SFAM swinging around. Tahar again. A true shining star of a player. Takes down one. Tahar takes down yet another. And again, it's this poor Killjoy in the clutch situation. Able to shut down Tahar, but gets taken down themselves by TGJ. Bringing us 11-2 on the scoreline. Potentially 12-2 as they buy up for their bonus.
I feel like I was watching a game of Among Us, like hide and seek, where you can just see that player is just running after them. They're about to get found, and it's just a matter of time, and that's exactly what happens. That Raze is just, Zaps is just a poor soul at that point. But hey, 11-2, the Fnatic curse is on the board. There is still a chance for either one of these teams to take it home, but you have to imagine that it is looking a lot better for INF at the moment. So looks like this A entry is going to start to come in once again, and the Molly will be there to stall, but I don't know if there's too much that SFAM can do here with just this gun disadvantage.
There you go. Teleports into the smoke here. Sin takes down Bisty, but gets traded out by Tobita. And now Steven. Ooh, gets one, swings around, gets the other. Riznik able to take down the... But look at this. Ginkgo, 1-2. Taken down once again. They lined up for Ginkgo. And it's 12-2. I mean, I'm a believer, but even for me, this is going to be extremely, extremely tough. 10 rounds needed in a row just to get overtime.
I mean, we saw it last game, and they got one. However, they didn't get the next 6 that they also needed. So, yes, there's a chance. Chances are they will win this one, you know, it being a bonus, but of course anything could go their way, and it's just, can INF, I think they're just going to stick to their own plan, which is this A execute, and the timing is terrible for Milford, and that's going to provide for this A site to be very, very much so weakened.
It's just this poor little Raze here once again to fend off the entire attacking squad. Gets spotted out by the Fade Prowler, and then now it's an extremely uncomfortable position. Tahar takes down Zaps, but Bisty does take down Sin there, trying to keep it even, but it is 4-3 still. Gonna need to see a lot of hero play come out for this retake.
And this is just rough, and Jinko is gonna do it all. Just Jinko. I mean, 13-2, 4K on the last round. What more can you ask from a Raze player? I mean, that is Duelist in a nutshell.
When I said I needed hero play to come out, I didn't mean from the side that was winning. I meant for SFAM there, not for Jinko, but Jinko certainly provided 24 kills, 8 deaths. That is triple your kills to deaths. That is absolutely insane statistics right there.
Yeah, I would like that in my ranked games. I'll take that in every other game that I play of Valorant ever. Please, Valorant gods, if you exist or wherever, please, Riot, you know. But there is just a very dominant fashion out there by INF. They take this one against SFAM, and 2-0. It seemed like we had a somewhat of a closer game over towards map 1, but it just all falls apart towards map 2.
Yeah, I mean, incredible performance there from INF. They really, really stood their ground there, and they continue on in our series. And just a reminder for all you at home, the tournament you are currently watching is From the Shadows, the first tournament in the Reina's season for 2024 here. And this is a $350 tournament, which is not, not that's a lot of money on the line here. And you want to know the crazy part, Ari, as the season goes on and we get more tournaments from the Reinas, the prize pool will only get bigger. Only get bigger. So there's a lot on the line here, a lot for the players here, but there's even more coming up. So this is just incredible stuff already from INF, and proves, hey, they're going to be a team you want to watch out for in this tournament and future ones.
Yeah, and speak of, future things, we've still got some matches coming up. Some are going to be on Sunday, so make sure to stop right back here at this channel to figure those games out and see if you can find what those results are going to be. Make sure to do your predictions when they do come in. But 3 p.m. at least GMT, we have Tapito Esports versus HL Tori Esports, and then 6 p.m. GMT we have Asato Pro versus Involted Gaming. So those will be some matchups for this first round that both of these matchups are going to be looking forward to that, and we hope that for the rest of you guys are as well.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff indeed. I'm truly happy with that series. Of course, we are done for the day, but before we go, I want to give some shout outs. Of course, we got to shout out Ali, who is our producer today and the owner of the Reinas. We have Penguin with the great observing. That was solo observing and did all of that. That was incredible observing. Didn't miss anything. Had all the POV and the cinematic angles as well. And of course, I have to thank you, Ari. You have been a great co-caster. I was very happy to cast with you today.
And I'm very happy to cast with you as well, Echo. And hey, we're just here to have some fun, here to yap.
Exactly.
And
there
I
you
can't
go.
wait to come back tomorrow, because I'm going to be here tomorrow for
Ooh.
anyone that is watching. So make sure to come back in if you enjoyed me. And if you didn't, well, suffer. You get to deal with me again. But that's going to be it for us today. We hope you guys enjoyed this broadcast from the Reinas, and we will see you guys next time.
See you, everybody.